Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. It is yours truly, Krystal Leandra. I have an awesome guest here today, and I'm so excited. I could scream. She got on chat with me. I was like, oh my god, we're finally here. Today I have Elfie from Paranormal State. Her and I have been friends for a while. She was a fan of the Ghost Girl Diaries channel from back in the day, and that's how we ended up chatting years ago. We've talked about collaborating. Never did it, and finally we're here. It's like, yes, finally we're here. Today we're going to have some really cool topics. We're going to chat about opinions and discussions on the Black Dahlia. The reason I brought that topic up specifically was because it was recently brought up again with the Ghost Adventures crew when they went to the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles. That was an amazing episode if you have not seen it yet, by the way. And this is a paranormal podcast for those of you that are brave enough to join the circle. We're also going to talk about the Slenderman, which is literally a dark hole. Elfie and I were talking about this earlier. You can take this in so many different directions because it was a character that was actually created. It went viral, you know. It was born from the internet basis of things going viral. And in my opinion, I think it's a lot stronger than people realize. And so she went down a dark rabbit hole. I went down a dark rabbit hole. It's fun to do that with people that are really, really, truly like-minded. So with that being said, I want to bring in my guest, Elfie. Girl, we're finally here together. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good.
I'm so glad.
How you doing?
I am wonderful. It took us what, three years to get here finally?
It took the plans had to line up or something.
It's so true. It was perfect timing, astrological timing, and then I messaged you in December, I think, and I think I texted you and I was like, why don't we just rip the Band-Aid and just do it? And you were like, all right. You were so chill about it. Let's do it. So here we are. So when did you start watching GGD? You got into Ghost Girl Diaries a minute ago.
I want to say it was pretty early on.
Was it?
Yeah. God, how many years has it been already?
Oh my, don't say that, girl. Literally. Okay, 2011 was when Paranormal Challenge happened. And I think I don't know if I hope to God you didn't see my first few videos because they were so bad. But my first few videos were 2013. And those are gone, by the way. I've removed those from YouTube. Nobody can find them. They're gone. They're archived. But yeah, it's been a minute.
I want to say at least 2014.
Yeah.
I want to say it was 2014 when I started watching
good.
the shows and everything.
That's when it got better. It was so bad. Woo, so bad. So,
you
Elfie,
powered up. You got.
I started with a card table and a sequin backdrop. It was just really I just don't. It's PTSD.
Right
no, you look great. It looks like you're in a witchy spot studio. I love it. You have a little it pop. Don't look at everything else. So let's chat about. Have you seen the Cecil episode? By the way, I didn't even ask you if you saw it.
Yes, I did.
I
actually,
did.
Hunted it down and watched it and everything because you mentioned it. And I was like, I don't think I saw that episode. So
yeah, it was
I
really good.
Sat down, watched it and everything.
It was longer than their normal episodes. I think it was an hour and a half or something. But they did mention that the Black Dahlia was seen the day before at the Cecil. I call it Cecil and Cecil. Okay, I
think I've heard it called either.
It's
way,
both.
Honestly.
If you go to Los Angeles, people call it both. Honestly. But I made this huge video on it years ago, literally I think it was 2015. And the only thing people wanted to talk smack about was the fact that I was pronouncing it wrong. That was the only complaint they had. And I was
all the things.
I was
literally,
I'm from Colorado, man. I don't, Cecil, potato, man. I don't know, you know,
They were all over that place in the show, too. They just, they did the tour. They went everywhere.
It was amazing that they had access and it was shut down for the whole thing. I'm so jealous, honestly. I was actually invited to be on the episode from the producers. And that's something I'm going to talk a little bit more about in my YouTube video. But the producers that work with Zach in the Travel Channel, they know that I have also been trying to get in that hotel for literally years. And the reason I think they finally got in, honestly, is because we're in a damn pandemic. Like, literally, I don't think they would have gotten in. Like, their business is probably
there's
hurting.
There's no one else here anyway, so why not? Come on in.
Literally, pay us some money and, like, we'll let you come in for the night. So, really, it was just lucky. He just happened to get in at, like, a really perfect time. So, now the Black Dahlia, one of the reasons I've been fascinated with it forever is because they kind of considered it like our version of a Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, I would put it in that category.
And I'm obsessed with, like, the UK history and, like, lore and, like, paranormal. Like, I'm obsessed. So the Jack the Ripper files, like, I love. But, you know, when they found her body, I was realizing, like, I hadn't really gone into depth when they found her body. So it was a woman and her child, like, going on a walk in LA. And they stumbled upon the Black Dahlia, which obviously we know that her name is Elizabeth Short. But the woman that found the body, essentially, like, originally, didn't know it was a human remains. She thought it was a mannequin.
Well, I made the mistake. I did, well, not so a mistake, but I did the Google search of the picture.
Is there really?
Like,
oh my God, now I have to do it. Is it bad? Oh,
yeah.
God.
Well, because there's the picture, there's the clean picture I think they gave to the press where it's her on the ground with a blanket over top of her, the more tasteful one. But then if you Google search, you can see the forensic pictures, like the actual how they found her.
Oh yeah, she's like disconnected, like straight up disconnected. Like it's not even, someone didn't even try to like pretend like she was a whole body. Wow.
But she really does look kind of like a mannequin. Like she's like stark white. There's like nothing else there. There's no blood, nothing. She really does look not human.
It doesn't. It looks fake. But I guess the mortifying part behind that too is that someone did clearly do the actual crime elsewhere. Which, I mean, I don't really want to go into that because that was a Ghost Adventures episode. They did go to the supposed murderer's house and like capture evidence. I don't know. Like, we can't really point any fingers unless it's like indefinite, and we can't really decide that. But obviously there was 0 blood found at the crime scene. Which means wherever she was murdered, she was like completely drained of like her of everything, and that's like, wow. Like, I guess when I'm like talking about true crime and like documentaries and stuff, I think of the time and patience that it had to have taken to do these like horrific crimes.
Well, yeah, because when you look at it, that wasn't a quick job.
No.
That was very precise and very detail oriented, and I think in the report they found like a smudge or 2 of blood off of the scene, but yeah, she was pretty much bloodless completely,
and like all fluids were gone. And then she'd had the gash in her face as well, and it was very much like, I mean, I've read through the case files, and it seems to me like you would have had to have a serious background in medical in order to do this.
Yeah, especially when they are talking about how none of the organs were disturbed and everything was cleanly cut through, because a couple of the crime podcasts that talked to, they were like, this is a very specific way you cut through so you don't cut through major organs. I'm like, okay, you have to have gone to medical school to know where to cut.
You would. And how would you know, especially like you think of like crime scenes like Richard Ramirez, and they're so violent and they like stomped people to death and like did these like horrific, crazy, violent deaths. And yeah, like, I mean, like to me, like a killer, like, or like John Wayne Gacy, you know, he abducted the kids and like tied them up and like, you know, like they're very like a lot of anger like going into that. And so I'm trying to say is like it's a quick, fast crime, and like they wouldn't have the time or patience to think of, oh, I have to be careful where I cut so they don't hurt an organ. Like, they don't care, you know? Like, so this person, it was almost like a guinea pig. Do you agree with that?
Well, what was interesting is that apparently a lot of stuff was done to her violently before her death, and then the caring for the cutting up and everything was after the fact. That was just so clean, and similar to like unlike Jack the Ripper, where when he was done it was very passionate and very violent, and just like right there.
Exactly. Well, they think she had to have been murdered in some sort of like a bathtub where it would have drained out, which is just horrific. I can't once again, the patience for somebody to be able to do that and to watch it as it's happening is just mind-blowing to me. And then for her to be actually cut in half, they had to like remove a vertebrae or something, and there's like a specific area where this has to be done, which once again, if you haven't had some sort of medical experience, how would you know? Or even even let's play pretend and say somebody out there studies medical stuff and like gets medical books on their own. Would you have the confidence even after studying it to like go in? You know what I'm saying? Like, right? Like, seriously.
Yes, like I'm gonna pull out my Grey's Anatomy and we're gonna like try this out.
You're like, all right, well, I got this girl murdered, so I think I'm gonna decide to like separate her spine. Like, I think I'm gonna go there. You know what I mean? Like, but the confidence to do that as well.
And I agree. I think when you said guinea pig, I think whoever did it didn't look at her as human at that point. Just looked at her as something to experiment with, to dissect, to like just like curiosity,
like a specimen. Like she was like a lab specimen to them or something weird.
Yeah, not even a person at that point.
So someone named Ashley, one of our fans, said, I do not believe that the man did it. I'm assuming this is the guy that's in the Ghost Adventures episode. I don't have those notes with me right now, guys, but she said, I know he was a bad man, but I think that it may have been an abortion gone bad and they covered it up and did like an over-the-top massacre. That's an interesting theory. I didn't...
They're talking about Dr. Hodel.
Hodel, yeah, Hodel.
Yeah, he's like the big guy that they talked about on the show, and then like the one they really... actually what's interesting with the show itself is like, I went down the rabbit hole just looking up the house, because I'm like, I've seen that house before.
In LA?
Yeah, like I'd seen it on other shows or something. I'm like, where's that house from?
Yeah, that girl, it's his daughter, right? Or his stepdaughter, something like that. I was looking into it too, and man, I think she's made some money off this, which good for her, boo. Like, she needs a check too, you know, like everybody needs a check. But she's done interviews, like multiple after Ghost Adventures, and she's allowed like photographers and journalists to come in. And like, so they've made it into this little empire. I'm like, good for you, girl. You get it, you know? Like,
oh yeah, it's his his granddaughter, and then there was his son, Steve Hodel,
yes,
who wrote the book believing that his father was the killer, because living in the house, he's like, yes, something didn't add up right, or something like that.
Right. No, I know. It's really, really weird stuff. But it's once again going back to like the divine timing thing too, which I found interesting. So when she was like found murdered, obviously she was kind of like considered a Jane Doe. They didn't know who she was, what was going to happen. And then they ended up finding out that her fingerprints were found in the FBI's like sector twice. And it was because only like 7 or 8 months before that, she had applied for a job at an army base. And then the second time she'd gotten arrested. So once again, divine timing. How many people in this world get murdered and do not have fingerprints? And then, you know what I mean? Like, she just happened to be found in the system. Like, if it weren't for those 2 incidences, she was arrested for, I believe it was drinking under the or she was under the influence, or was she drinking under the influence or something like that?
Yeah, it was a DUI she got.
So lucky for her, she was identified. How many of these people this weird stuff happens to, we don't hear about it because it just becomes another Jane Doe and they can't be identified.
Oh, yeah. And, like, I found it interesting, the case file, that's how they used this old school, they call it sound photo, which was, I guess, the early idea of a fax machine back in the day to do this, too. Which I'm then, it's like, I want to see one of those.
I know, right? Literally. So they did apparently have a lot of suspects that they came in. They did interviews, but nobody was really ever technically charged. So it's amazing that her story has gone on for so long. And once again, more amazing to me that she's connected to the Cecil Hotel. Because that hotel is so damn dark. Like, it's amazing to me. So she was, let's see, January 1947 is when she was murdered. But the day before she was reportedly, like, went missing or was found, she was actually found or seen at the Cecil Bar several days before the murder happened. So it's just weird that there's a connection with the Cecil Hotel, because it's just such bad energy. And it was interesting, even on the Ghost Adventures episode, they couldn't even go over all the deaths that have happened there. There's so many deaths. Like, they didn't even...
between the murders, and then the suicides.
Right.
It's like one after the other.
One after the other. The suicides seem to be the strangest for me at Cecil, because they literally just jump out of the window with, like, no question. All of it. Like, there's more that Zach didn't even talk about with Ghost Adventures that you guys didn't even see. And they just jump out of the window. And, like, there's been a couple times where they've killed people on the street below. The one girl fell on the marquee, which is like, oh my God, what a painful death. Can you imagine that? Like, oh, no. Like, the metal, it's slamming it. Oh, no. Like, that just sounds horrible. Now I'm going back into my notes here. Black Dahlia. So they were on season 12. So the Black Dahlia house, which is in Los Angeles, was on the season 12 premiere of Ghost Adventures, if you guys are interested. I just wanted to kind of do a little bit of extra research and chat about it before. So 1947, so the major incidences that happened around her being seen there at the Cecil in 1947 was the Dorothy Purcell. That was when she was found murdered, or with her boyfriend, right? Is that... No. Yeah, she's the girl that was with her boyfriend and the shoe salesman.
Yeah, the one
that she threw her baby. Oh my God.
That was just, like, I looked up a few things with that, because I'm like, that's just the weirdest kind of scenario where it's like, she goes in the bathroom, gives birth, thinks it's dead, and it's just like, this weird, I don't know what, like, it boggled my brain, honestly.
P.S. Like, let's just chat, because we're girls, for a minute, okay? Like, she claims she quietly gave birth. How did that happen? Like, women do have, like, a higher, like, pain tolerance, for sure, than men, like, 100%. But, like, how do you quietly give birth? Like, I would be like, holy shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'd be screaming and, like, cussing. And also, like, how do you, like, she had to have been quite far along. Not that I'm saying that it's not possible to not know, because it does happen sometimes. But, like, you would have...
there's a whole show of, like, I didn't know I was pregnant. But
right, well, and she would have skipped periods.
Can't be that big, and the bathroom can't be that far away from the bed. So how's the guy not wake up hearing anything at all?
Well, let me just say that I wouldn't just let my boyfriend sleep through that, okay? Let me just say, you're going to endure this with me, okay? Like, I'm in pain, boo. You're going to be in pain with me back, okay? Jeez, it's so bad.
But then just what she does is next is just like... Oh God, it's just...
No, I know. Like, you know,
so sad.
How... I guess I just don't understand. That's two things that I can't stand, which I love true crime, I love paranormal and occult, obviously. Two things that I don't get, well, I guess three. Human sacrifices, that's just gross to me. Two, hurting animals, that makes me more sick than anything. And three, hurting like a child. I don't get, like, how could you, like, carry this thing for 9 months, like, birth it, palm it, like it's like a football, and then you're just like, oh, you know what, it's dead, I'm just gonna toss it out the window. It's just weird to me, like, and it sucks because you don't know what was happening at that time. Was it mental health? Because that was a point in time, you're talking, what, 1944? Mental health wasn't a thing, really, till recently, you know?
Well, it was like... It was still kind of new in some ways. I think there was like 3 doctors that looked at her that they finally went back through her case and decided it was like due to insanity and everything. And like back then, most of the time, women were like usually labeled as hysterical and it's like they didn't really go probing further. It's like, here's some pills, you're hysterical.
Oh man, back then you could literally, as a woman in that time, you could be put in an insane asylum for, like, being crabby at your husband. Yeah. Like, literally. Or, like, if you had a bad period and you had cramps, you're going to the insane asylum because you complained too much. Like, even if you weren't a good housewife, like, they would, like, deem you insane and just stick you in there, put you on pills. It's just sick. So it does make you wonder, like, what was going on? What was going on there? Yeah, it says three psychiatrists.
I would love to know the before all that. Like, what was she going on before that?
See, when I look at cases like this, my like, true crime brain starts, like, going. And I think of stuff like, does she have any family, or even the boyfriend, which is Ben Levine? Obviously, they would be... I mean, they may not be alive at this point, or else they could be in their 90s or even 100. But do they have grandchildren or even kids that know about what happened? And that I'd love to, like, interview them and be like, what was this about? Like, what happened here? Do you even know what happened? That's where my true crime brain goes, though. So, anyway, overall, what do you think about Cecil's, like, energy? Like, do you think... I mean, you know, there were, like, weird things going on before Jack came in, which was the other serial killer. There was weird things going on before Richard Ramirez showed up. So, you know, people are always like, oh, Richard Ramirez did satanic stuff and that's what caused it. Yes, I agree with that, obviously. Like, he's clearly a Satan worshiper. But there was stuff happening before then. What do you think? Do you have a theory on, like, what's going on there?
Look at the hotel, the location of it. I was kind of wondering, like, what was there before, like, when it was new, during, like, all these major times with the criminals and the suicides and the deaths and such. And were there any other hotels? Because I keep wondering, like, was this just a place of convenience? Like, is this just unfortunately happened to be the hotel that was the easiest to get to take care of things or to end your life or something, unfortunately.
Well, I wonder if it's just... Well, that's a good point, saying, could it possibly be, like, a ley line? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, not a lot of people believe in ley lines. I do, because I think anything is... Like, I think that when you've been in paranormal as long as, like, Elfie as well... Like, anything could happen, okay? Like, literally, like, there's, like, nothing's off the table. You know what I mean? Like, you can't really be a skeptic. But I think it's almost like one giant portal in some way. And then you do get Richard Ramirez involved. And then Jack, who wants to mimic him. And you're just making it 40 times worse.
Well, and also just, like, looking at the Black Dahlia case in general, I found it interesting looking... Because I think around the time when this case was going on, I believe the LAPD apparently was starting to be investigated because there apparently were a lot of deaths in LA that were not being solved. And so they were looking into them for, like, basically crooked cops and everything. And it's this fascinating kind of Jekyll Hyde of this area of, you have the Hollywood trying to present a very clean Hays Code, upstanding society, but then you also have the underbelly of all the strange fringe stuff and all the dark stuff that also happens just under the surface as well.
Well, and if you're talking about it being a portal or, like, negative energy magnet, whatever you want to call it, have you been in that area of Los Angeles, which is, like, Skid Row area?
I don't think
I mean, that's pretty far south. It's, like, in city, like, LA. Like, you've probably been on, like, LAX side, like, Santa Monica side, right? Like, Hollywood side. This part is, like, in, like, downtown LA, like, kind of by the courthouse. Like, it's down there. And it's just, like, it's not just the Cecil. It's the whole area. So if it is a portal or a ley line, it would make sense because it's a good, probably somewhere between 5 to 10 blocks that just the area is not good. And it's just not good.
Because I remember they were talking about, like, this is the area you don't want to be in at night. You don't want to be walking around alone at night. Producers
will say, if you fly in, as your producers are like, so... You don't want to go east of this or south of this. One time I accidentally drove into Compton by myself and I was in, like, a convertible. I'm this blonde in convertible. I'm like, hey guys, what's going on? I'm in Compton all of a sudden. I don't know. How did I get in Compton? I don't know how I got to Compton. Like, literally.
They're like, get out.
Literally. Wrong turn, guys. This is not good. But yeah, with the Cecil, so it does make you wonder if just a couple of, like, 1 or 2 blocks away, you're having this thing of unlimited population of homelessness. I don't know if Skid Row really existed then. If it did, it may not be as big as it is today, obviously.
Yeah.
But then you get transit people, and the Cecil was known for being like $19 a night. Like, how can you beat that? Like, you can't even stay in Vegas for that. You know what I mean? So you probably got people that were just desperate to go in. And, like, I honestly think with Eliza, which was the girl that was found in the water tank, I think that, you know, she may have been having a mental health crisis in the same time that she was possessed. To me, she appeared possessed. And I think that, I do think it was a human that murdered her. Now, whether that human was possessed themselves or not, and I have more deets on that too for my other video. It's like, that's a whole, Elfie and I could sit here for 10 hours if you let us, okay? Like, it's really bad.
Between the elevator video and then also just the fact of, like, being able to lift that lid and all that stuff, there's something just doesn't add up.
Oh, what do you think? Did you research the elevator game? I know this wasn't on the list, so she may not have, but did you research the elevator game?
I looked into it because, like, I remember we were talking.
I want to know what you think.
What?
What do you think? I want to know what you think about it.
It's creepy. It's a creepy. Like,
it's
like,
creepy.
Okay, elevators are creepy at begin with, because I've been in some old elevators that are like creaking, that as they go up, they sound like they're about to fall as it is. So it's like, oh, let's add another layer to that, shall we?
No, I think, and honestly, I think elevators are portals for sure, like, and stairways. Those are two areas I think for sure. Not all of them, but I do think some do, you know, mimic it.
Well, the energy. I mean, especially when you get the stairways going up and down, you have people up and down, and the energy flow and everything.
Exactly.
And people just doing whatever they're doing back in the back and everything.
Some of the most, like, predominant paranormal experiences I have ever had, I've been, like, alone or, like, with family or friends, and it's in hallways. And it doesn't even have to be a creepy hallway, but, like, stairs, like, stairways. And it is. I think it's this constant energy flow that, like, creates this sort of, like, portal magnet thing, and it is weird. Same with the elevators. You have a metal box, like, literally, that you're standing in. Like, I don't know how much more of a portal you want. Like, it's literally a portal. And it's powered by electricity, which is EMFs. And it just goes up and down and up and down. Like, I mean, it's an actual portal. Now, I went on a forum. I don't recommend this, because I was literally on said forum for, like, maybe 2 hours, like, reading everybody's comments, because I was, like, going down a dark hole. But there were some people were saying, like, oh, the elevator game doesn't work if you do it with more than one person. And then some people were saying it does work. And then some people were actually talking about what happened to them when they, like, got to the other side, I guess. I don't know.
Jeez.
Now, when you read the directions of the elevator game, a concern I had was they did not give Zach the full directions.
Oh, did they give, like, him, like, the short notes? Like,
yeah, they did. They gave him, like a quarter to half of the notes, and I was like, if he would have gotten stuck up there and his phone wasn't working, he would have had no idea how to return home. Like actually, it's so bad. So I don't know what PA was on set that day, but you need to, like, let that person go. You know what I'm saying? Because he could have gotten stuck in a different realm. Do you think the elevator
game... You need
game...
the out. You need to be able to have the out.
Yeah, like, they had the, like, how to do it, but they didn't give him the directions on how to return. Like, jeez, I was like, oh my god.
They're probably like, it's Zach, you can figure it out.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Well, it says when you reach the top floor, like, if it works and you're on the elevator with this girl or whatever, that you reach... It's like a parallel universe, essentially. And it looks, like, dark and, like, the lights are out, but you see, like, a glowing red cross, like, in the distance. And I was like, yeah, and if Zach would have seen that, he'd been like, ooh, pretty glowing red demonic cross, gotta go towards the light. And, like, no one ever would have heard. No. Nobody would have heard from him again. It would have been over, because he didn't have the return directions.
I would have been hitting the button so fast, go, oh, hell no. Nope. Mm-mm.
See, now, I would have tried it, but I would have made someone go with me just to make sure. Like, I just need to make sure. Yes.
You need the buddy system.
It's true. It is so true. Okay, should we talk about Slenderman? Because I feel like this is definitely a dark hole one, like, for sure.
Yeah, we could totally get into Slenderman. I mean, it's just like there's. We could talk for hours a little more on like Black Dahlia and all the cases, and also just the fact like going down the rabbit hole. How many fictional books have been written because of that character?
It's true.
Because of the whole case and everything. It's like,
it's
oh my
so true. It's so true. I mean, not only that, spin-offs too. Like you think of anything, crime TV, crime shows. And then you go into the Slenderman, and they have all these movies, films they've done about it, and then they have games.
Oh,
You and I
yeah.
were looking into the computer app games that they have. Like, the one thing I want to say with Slenderman is that everybody that has gotten involved with it has made, like, a killing financially on, like, kind of, you know, taking money off the empire, because it has become such, like, a thing, you know?
I mean, if you look at it, it was a very simple framework to start off with, and then you just kind of throw a few more things on. You can really build from there. So it wasn't like very complex to begin with. I mean, it started off with 2 photos, I think it was.
2 photos.
And it's like, here, have fun.
They think the author, the guy that started it, which I have his name somewhere, but I have notes for my notes, because they actually call him Slendy, is what his name is. His nickname is Slendy to people that really love him. They think that the original author that started it was basing the writings off of H.P. Lovecraft out of one of his story-like creations, which is interesting because if you're a para person, you love H.P. Lovecraft, obviously. Slenderman, so he was developed or created in 2009 by this guy. The author is, I guess it would be considered a ghostwriting name. His name is Victor Surge, so nobody really knows who really started it, but the guy named Victor Surge started in 2009. The Slenderman, he's depicted as a thin, unnaturally tall humanoid with featureless head, so no face, no eyes, no mouth, and a face that's wearing like a tall suit and like a black hat. So
Yeah.
I just love this. Like, literally, I just love this story. Like, Elfie and I were touching base before we got live, and it's like, she's like, I went down a dark hole, and I could have gone so many different directions with it, and it's so true. So he starts out as a fictional character, but, you know, as we know, there was, like, the actual Slenderman, you know, attempted murder that happened in Wisconsin. So the question is that if you get potentially millions of people across the world believing in this fictional entity, does he become real? I mean, what do you think, Elfie?
I think this is very interesting because, like, I've been a huge fan of, like, thought forms and the concept of thought forms and the poor guy's idea in the paranormal, but because just the idea of us being able to basically generate our own ghosts. And this thing has been going on for, like, almost a decade now, and you have so many people putting so much energy and obsession essentially into this character, and it started off, like I said, very simple framework, and just has been building up on top of that. So I could totally see the possibility. The only problem I ever see is, like, every time we see videos of, like, Slenderman Connor video, it's just another
CGI,
AR scenario.
Yeah, I don't know if I really believe the quote found footage that's on there. Now I watch it because I just love it. Like, even if it's CGI, like, I want to see it because I just love creepy stuff. But, you know, Kat and I have had this theory, getting Ghost Girl Diaries signed. We would love to go to the actual forest that he supposedly resides in, which is in Wisconsin. That was what was written, like, through this whole era of Slenderman. I think that if you went into the forest, obviously no expectations of actually seeing him, maybe other than a shadow, I do think that you would get, like, EVPs of, quote, whoever the Slenderman is, because I think that many people have created this character, and so I think on an energetic level he exists somewhere. And by the way, like, Elfie and I, we're researching it. People are still building onto the Slenderman, like book or whatever. Like, what is this called? Like an endless novel? I'm not even sure.
And it's actually, that's what I find fascinating, because he is an internet creation, and with the internet, it's like you just can layer and layer and layer and layer, and sometimes that makes it a little more difficult because, like you said, creepypasta, you're not sure its origins, that we are as close as we can be compared to others.
Mm-hmm.
But oh my god, we suddenly got like static or that electric interference in the woods. I'd be like, okay.
Do you think that whoever he is created, like, because they say he has tentacles and, like, that's how he grabs you or what, like, there's a lot of theories. Some say he has wings. So do you think this fictional character is now considered, like, a demon character? Or just, like, a non-human character?
I would probably put him more into the non-human. Like, the tentacles, I could see where they probably get the idea that the author created him from the H.P. Lovecraft because of, like, the whole Cthulhu and also the interdimensional being of him, because with H.P. Lovecraft, it was always a mix of either demonic or actually just interdimensional monsters that drove you insane, and that seemed to be his bag of tricks, was him luring children and then kind of driving them nuts and getting them to do things or just taking them away entirely.
Yeah, sort of like puppetry. Like, he's puppeting these kids to do his dirty work, in a sense. And that even talks about, going into the case where two girls lured another girl into the forest, claiming that they were being told by, quote, Slendy to create this, like, heinous murder. And that was how, essentially, they showed their... which is very satanic, honestly, is like doing a human sacrifice to show my power to you, or I'm giving myself to you. It's essentially a human sacrifice. So I can see where people can see the satanic / demonic side of it. But I really think he's just something that developed. I think it's a very earthly plane thing of an energy that was literally something that went viral and then turned real. Like, literally, the internet went viral with all of this energy, like, millions of people, and created it. And this girl, the girl got away, essentially. If you haven't seen the Slenderman documentary that's based on a real story, it was an HBO documentary. It was so good. It was so good. The girl got away from the other two girls, but the other two girls were charged with attempted murder. One got off a little bit easier than the other, but the other girl was sent to a mental institution where she was diagnosed with schizophrenia. And a lot of people were like, oh, it was caused by the Slenderman. The Slenderman gave her schizophrenia. But if you listen to the documentary, she has several family members, generationally speaking, that have the same mental illness. So, unfortunately, she just probably wasn't treated with it. Now, do I think that, like, she claims still today, even medicated, that the Slenderman visits her in dreams and, like, visits her? I still do believe that. I do believe that. I think it's like paranormal. All paranormal is a revolving door. You open the door once, it doesn't shut. You open the door to experiencing Slenderman, whether that's through, like, summoning. Like, you and I were talking about, these people are in their houses. Like, you've watched videos where it went viral. These people claiming that they summoned in the Slenderman, and now they have, like, wicked poltergeist activity through their house because of it.
I think, unfortunately, I think with them, they hyper fixated on this figure because when it happened, it was, like, at the peak of the internet interest of the Slenderman, and I think, sadly, a lot of these people use this character as a escape because, like, with them, they decided to sacrifice a friend because they felt like if they did this proved their loyalty to Slenderman, and then he would take them away to his house in the woods, and they just had this need to. It was almost like a Peter Pan moment of, like, we want to go somewhere else that's not where we feel bad right now, essentially.
Well, even like you mentioned earlier, Pied Piper sort of vibes too, of like, he is the leader, we must do and follow what the leader says type of thing. Yeah. Another one that I found, I was kind of comparing when I was researching this, is these people on the internet, if you go on these forums, like, there's like some literal, like, hardcore, like, Slenderman fans. Like, I'm talking like You know how, like, we like ghosts and, like, dead people? Like, these people are, like, the same with Slenderman. To the point where, I'm just going to say it, it's a little culty. It's a little bit like a cult. Because, like, they may not have done, like, quote, sacrifices, but they truly, they believe this energy is real. Not all of them have necessarily summoned it in. But it almost makes whoever's that obsessed with it feel a sense of belonging. Is that what you got from it, from reading like, seeing everything too?
I think it's the sense of belonging. I think is unfortunately that escapism, because from the looks of it, the age dynamic is usually preteens to teens, and they're already going through a lot as it is.
Mm-hmm.
And here's this focal point that they can use to latch onto, and this figure that could either help them, take them away from all their troubles,
mm-hmm.
or get rid of what they feel is trouble.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And
I agree.
Hyper focus on, and why they want him so bad to be real.
Well, and that's part of, like, the cult mentality as well, because I mean, most official cults are, what's the word I'm looking for? Older people or older generations, right? And then most of the people that follow Slenderman are usually, like, young, like Elfie was saying, younger generations of, like, preteens, teens who are in that, like, awkward hormonal stage. But either way, when you look at a cult, it's like, I follow this person because my home life is so damaged, or because I don't have family, or I don't have friends, and I feel like I don't have a sense of belonging. So that's where I need to go. And then the cult leader to them is this Slenderman, and they're like, I'm going to do everything I can to, like, show my loyalty and love to him. And so it does make sense to me when I see these forums of where some people say, yes, it's culty, yes, it's, like, it's a little satanic, yes, it's a little bit like these girls, like, doing a sacrifice. I can't even imagine luring my friend, like, Kat, like, Kat would follow me anyway, though. Like, if I went to a haunted wood, Kat would be like, let's go. No, but I can't imagine luring your friend into the woods, like, with the preparation of like, stabbing them to death, you know? Like, it's just, but like you said, these people that are getting involved with it are in a very vulnerable state of mind.
Yeah.
And I think
that, like, not, like, when there's that loss between, differentiating between fantasy and reality, I think that's why, like, in the case, the one is in an institution now getting help and got the brunt of the conviction, because I think she was the one who was adamant, like, we're going to do this, and then her friend who helped, I think, hesitated. Like, she wasn't quite sure, like, are you sure we're doing this? When they acted and everything.
Well, thank God somebody had a brain, because it's like, well, and then the one girl, she did get stabbed. The one girl that was diagnosed with schizophrenia is the only one that did the actual act of, like, the stabbing. Once again.
And the girl barely survived. From what it sounded like, there were, like, a few wounds on her that any closer would have actually, like, hit her heart. So she was very lucky that she was able to get away and find someone who could help, because there were, like, multiple wounds on her and everything. Just,
it's amazing to me that she even escaped, because, I mean, really, how far, weren't they, like, 13 years old or something like that, somewhere in that age range? Theoretically, how far can you get? You know, like, if you're, like, they said, like, we're walking into the woods, we're gonna escape, and then after we do the sacrifice, we're gonna go find Slenderman's house. Theoretically, like, I mean, I remember being a 13, 14-year-old, and I'd walk, like, a mile, and I'd be like, I'm exhausted. Like, I need to sit down. Like, I need a break. Like, so theoretically, how far could they have gotten? So thank God they didn't get very far, because I don't think that... So apparently, the girl that was stabbed ran out onto a road and just happened to see a car passing by, and they stopped and helped her. She's very... That would talk about divine timing. Like, if you don't think divine timing doesn't exist...
Oh, yeah. No, she really lucked out that there was someone there to help her.
Whoa! She was lucky. She was lucky. Well, and I also think that if you... Is everything all right?
Turn off these audio
Okay.
Like the battery's designed to phase on me a bit. I'm fighting with it.
Are you?
Don't mind.
Okay. If you need a break or whatever, I can give you 1 or 5. But I'm looking back at the H.P. Lovecraft thing. Somebody claimed they came forward in an interview as Victor Surge. Now, once again, can we believe him? Now, Victor Surge was the supposed initial author that started the Slenderman. How can you believe what this guy's saying? You don't really know if that's him. You know what I mean? Like, it may have just taken off to a point where somebody came forward and like, oh, I did so good. Like, I'm going to take all the credit for Slenderman, you know?
Yeah, I think he was the one who claimed that he did the photoshopping of the pictures and had the little bit of writing.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, writing underneath it was like just that extra bit that was needed to kick off the story and everything.
He said H.P. Lovecraft was his number 1 influence, which is interesting because in a couple of weeks, Elfie and I are going to talk about the Necronomicon because everybody, yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be a good one, so you got to wait for that. But I also hope that we can bring in a couple other characters from H.P. Lovecraft and other writings because I think H.P. Lovecraft literally had a shoe-in with the other side. I don't know how you feel about it.
I've actually started looking because I've only read a little bit of him, but what I find very fascinating is the fact that this is such like a huge world he built, and it didn't become he didn't become really famous with it until after his death. And from what I heard, he actually didn't really believe in the occult and weird stuff and everything. So to him to build that world and everyone kind of work off of that, and him being like, it's not really.
Well, he's had roommates from college come forward that said when he would do some of his writings, he would be staring into a closet and he would swear he was seeing things come out of it or like a world in the closet. And they said he would trance out and that the next day they would ask him about it and he'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember. So it's just interesting. So I think like there was points where thank you guys so much for the bits. We appreciate you. They're cheering for us, Elfie. Woohoo! But
he's such a to begin with, like his history, like just looking at his bio alone is just like not even look at the stories, but his bio alone is just like he was an odd duck to begin with.
Oh, he was. Well, so was Edgar Allan Poe, but like we are also odd ducks, which is why we like them. You know what I mean? Like, but it's true. It's interesting how they could create such a strange occult world. But at the time, they were not successful writers. Like, they didn't really become successful till way after, like, 19th century when their stuff started becoming more popular. Like, after they died. So it's interesting how that happens. Like, I think Edgar Allan Poe died, like, extremely poor and broke. And he was really sick, and he, like, died in his house, like, alone. He was, like, only had enough money for bread. And here he is, this, like, phenomena now of, like, everybody knows who Edgar Allan Poe is. So it seems to have that same path with writers. So this guy, the Victor Surge, who was the writer of the Slenderman, or at least the essential beginning of Slenderman, he also said that he was influenced by Stephen King, especially his short stories. And he loved Silent Hill and Resident Evil. And he said that his biggest other influence was Zach Parsons' The Insidious Beast, Stephen King's short story, The Mist. And he also liked reading The Rake. He also was really into the Mothman, and he said that was the motivation behind creating, like, this Slenderman, the Terror. He wanted to make it like the Slenderman never directly kills his victims. Instead, he encourages others to, like, give them orders. And, like, by ordering them to murder, and, like, it pleases him. Once again, culty.
Soft kind of boss.
It is. I mean, and that's where it can start to get really dark. So, what do you think about these people who are in their houses, who are, like, literally doing witchcraft and summoning? Which, let's just pause for a minute, okay? I can't sit here and lie and say I haven't done, like, summoning rituals or witchcraft rituals because I have participated in all of the above, okay? But, like, there's some people online, if you research it, They're like, I would call them like baby witches, or like people that have no idea what they're doing. And like, you know,
I've been doing it too, the whole baby witch everything.
it is. It's a very like baby witch where you're like, they're like, oh, we're gonna summon the Slender Man. We're gonna summon the Slender Man. And then, but they're like, oh, it may not happen. It's gonna be fine. And then like 5 seconds later, they're like, oh shit, like it worked. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what if it works? So like maybe you should be like, what do you do in the aftermath that it actually does work? Like, I feel like people like Zach going on the elevator. He should have researched the elevator game himself and made sure he had the full directions. What if he would have made it to like the other side with the portal? How would he have gotten home? You know, like you have to be prepared. That's the baby witch idea of like when you're summoning things or like practicing in ritual spells. Like, do you have the closing part too? Or did you forget like you need to research how to close the spell or how to end a summons, or if you do summon something into your house, how do you get rid of it? Like, it's just like, what do you think of those viral videos?
That's usually, okay. So, like, if you didn't already guess, when it comes to magic and witchcraft and summoning things, like, usually, like, I have no problem with people new to it learning right off the bat, like, get your first book. But usually it's good to first learn how to, like, close and clean up before you start poking things. And I probably wouldn't say Slenderman would be the first one you want to play with.
Thank you. 100%. 100%.
That probably would be the first tryout. Like, yeah, let's do this.
I mean, I'm semi-experienced, and I don't even know if I would be summoning in Slenderman personally. You know what I mean? Like, and it is, because I think they're like, oh, it's a joke, it's funny, we're just going to summon in the Slenderman. And then all of a sudden they're having, if you guys research it on YouTube, there's a ton of people, and they're filming poltergeist activity in their house. Like, literally things are, and I believe that it's real, but they're scared and freaked out because they have now an energy in their house. Another thing with summoning that you have to be safe with is when you go to summon something or talk to something, you don't know if that's actually what you summoned. Something else could have stepped in its place. You know what I'm saying?
That's the exact thoughts I have. Because just because you're saying that I'm summoning Slenderman, and even if Slenderman has become some sort of thought form of some kind, doesn't necessarily mean if it falls within the same parameters of summoning any kind of spirits or beings or anything. So when you go and you cast your circle and you summon what you think is Slenderman, you're not sure what you're actually bringing in, because it's similar to, like, okay, I have no problem with spirit boards as long as you like open the door and close the door and do the process properly.
See, guys, Elfie is a pro here. Okay, she just said she believes the same way I do. Ouija boards, that is Hollywood getting in your head. It is the same as a Mel meter. It's the same thing as an EMF meter. You're still connecting with them. You just need to open it properly, trust who you're working with it, and close it properly. Now, if you, like, talk to a demon and you just, like, pick up the board and you're like, okay, bye, demon, get out of my house. Like, that's not how it works. You know what I mean? Like, it's not how it works. So, like, these people who, like, oh my God, I used a Ouija board once and it was so bad. Yeah, it probably was, because I doubt you closed the session properly. You know what I mean? Like, and boundaries with your house. Don't summon something in that you don't know how to get out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and it's I mean, in some ways it's almost similar to, like, do you have boundaries of your house? Do you really want to call something in your house that then you will have to
100%
in your house? Because just because you tell it go away doesn't mean it will go away.
I wish. Like, that's how I feel about my neighbors the last few days using a jackhammer. Can you just, like, go away? Can you just, like, stop? So, no, but it's true. It's the same thing. Like, it's like inviting an unwanted visitor in your house, like maybe an annoyed mother-in-law that you don't like. Like, it's the same as the Slenderman. You're essentially letting it come in, and just because you tell it to go doesn't mean it's going to happen. And it's crazy to me that it's so. But, you know, then you get involved with, if you're trying to expunge it from your house, you're talking about sage rituals possible, exorcisms, salt rims around the house. I mean, you could go on and on about it. But people never, for some reason, get their research to that point. And I feel like that's like a really big step that people are missing here. Like, you can be a skeptic, fine. Summon it in, fine. But what if it does work? Then what are you going to do? You know what I mean? And these people are just freaking out about it. There was an interesting story I saw on TV the other day, and it was, why am I laughing? I feel bad. I laugh when people get trauma from poltergeist, because I'm like, well, why are you letting it follow you then, But this guy was like, he had all of this evidence, and like, it was real. Like, he was scared. He'd had like a kidney transplant. And I'm like, why hasn't this guy gotten like a priest in there? Like, what are you doing? Like, he moved houses. It was still following him. He has evidence. Take it to the archdiocese. Like, what are you? And he's like, I've just gotten to the point where I'm living with it. I'm like, you've had a kidney transplant, boo. I think at this point we need to call in for some Jesus, like, quite literally. You know what I mean? Jeez.
That start setting some ground rules. You'll be like, okay, so since you're not paying rent, we're going to have some rules here.
It's so true. I do not. So how do you have you been followed home before? And if you have, how do you handle it?
I'm not sure, actually. I mean, I have stuff in my house, but I'm pretty, like, chill with it. So if something probably...
I'm chill with it. Elvie's like, I like my ghost, like, they're my ghost roomies. They're cool, actually. Like,
as long as they follow the rules, as long as they don't cause trouble, as long as they are polite and everything, fine. But as soon as they start trouble, it's like, you're out of here.
Right.
And also, I ward my house. I know better. I ward my house.
I do too.
Ward.
Yep.
You can't... done.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I do the same. I do salt rims around the house and sage rims, and I do a little spell around my house because I get followed home, and sometimes you have to redo it and redo it again, So it's dangerous when people mess with things that they don't know how to control, or I don't know. What did you think of some of the poltergeist activity on those videos with Slenderman?
I think,
do you think they're idiots? You think they're idiots? I'm sorry.
I can see, okay, so if we're going in the idea of people generating their own ghosts, I could see them generating it to themselves of like, yeah, I totally got Slenderman and crap happening,
right?
Everything. They probably could be just feeding into it and front-loading themselves of like, yeah, this is totally stuff going on, and generating their own to make this happen. Mm-hmm. And most of the time people are like, I don't know what to do. It's like, you just clear it out, make rules, start charging it rent.
Truth. We have Kat mentioned about Zozo too. I'm just making sure I'm catching up on. I know Zozo. Oh man, that was 2020. We're not going to go backwards. Okay, we're moving forward. All of 2020 was Zozo. Okay, like the whole year. We saw a brief glimpse about a week ago, and we're just done with it right now. But yes, I agree. So not Slenderman, but poltergeist activity, in my opinion, can also be caused by energy that you're emitting yourself. 100%. And now, I'm not saying it's not Slenderman or maybe a combination of both, but I know somebody personally, very personally, who's actually on this stream right now, who creates her own poltergeist activity, and her name is Kat. She does it a lot. Like, if she gets, like, she's an Aries, so she's, like, really fired up, you know what I mean? Like, if something triggers her the wrong way, and it's in my house and in her house, like, when she comes to visit, she'll stay, like, a month or two at a time, but she'll be walking through the house. If something sets her off, her Aries just goes through the roof, and, like, we've had cabinets open and shut, and then, like, doors slam shut by themselves. And, like, I remember she'll, like, walk over, like, oh, my God, like, did something follow us home? And I'm like, I just think maybe, like, a meditation session. Maybe, like, a little bit of sage. Like, I just think, so, but it's true. Like, people don't realize how powerful your own energy is, you know?
So we're going to learn some shielding, containing, and centering and grounding here.
It's so true. It's so true. No, I don't. Kat just said the pots and pans go flying sometimes. Thank God that hasn't happened in my house.
Jeez. Put a little bubble around it.
like really grounding bubble. No. And I mean that's
ground bubble around it.
So what were some of the dark holes that you saw with Slenderman?
It was just like all the it was going down all the paths trying to figure out where he originated, because most of them went with the guy in the 2009, and then all the games that there were like multiple games like one after the other, and they're all the creepy games where you remember from the early 2000s that were like similar to Silent Hill and Resident Evil, of the walking around with a flashlight, you can barely see anything, and the noises getting louder and louder as you're looking for pieces of paper, and then suddenly Slender pops out of nowhere, and I'm just like, oh my God, I remember these so much.
It's true, but it's amazing. Like, they have created a financial empire off of this fictional character.
Like, this is way before FNAF and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, there are literally, I think I saw 20 or 30 games for PC and apps. I don't know if they're all still of existence, but that's a lot, guys. 20 or 30 games based on this fictional character, you know what I mean? And once again, like, I've talked about this theory from the Stanley Hotel when my old friend Callie worked there. She created this child image that was in... Have you been to Stanley? You've been there, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this wasn't the actual, like, main hotel or the presidential suite. It's another section that's kind of behind the presidential suite, and it's, like, the admin building. So she was doing tours in there, and that building actually was not haunted at all. It wasn't really haunted at all. But what she did was she started a story for her tours of a little girl haunted this building. And what she did was she sort of played the telephone game. So she would bring people in, tell them the story, and then people would say, oh, I felt this, or oh, I smell this, or this. And then pretty soon, her and I started doing actual investigations in the building. And we got the evidence that the people had created from this character that did not exist previously.
Dude, you played the film.
And literally, her and I were just sitting, like, we didn't even have to do anything. We're sitting there with recorders and, like, all of our equipment's going off. We're like, and this building was not haunted before. We got little girl voices on digital recorders. Like, so once again, going back to Slenderman, and that was only with a few hundred people. Imagine millions, thousands, putting their energy into Slenderman. My, like, ultimate goal would be to go to that forest. And a cat said that my camera is going in and out of focus. That's weird because this is a new camera, so it shouldn't be doing that. So that's interesting. But I'm going to have Slenderman visit me in my dreams tonight. Great, I can't wait.
Well, I think the thing, too, is the difference, too, is that they're working off of the Stanley Hotel with a already kind of battery to work off of.
Yeah, yeah. The crystals underneath and the geodes and the mines, 100%. Yep.
Like, you already had, like, some slight hauntings in the main part of the hotel, but then you build off of that and, like, kind of pull the energy into a knot, and create this story. And especially if you tell it in such a way of believability, like, people are just going to add to that and put their own energy and just keep it going and everything. And usually with thought forms, I think most of the time it's consistency. Like, if the story doesn't change too much, if you can retell it over and over again and just kind of almost keep going over that same line until there's a nice groove in it and everything, that is more likely to appear than just a one-off story that just fades into nothing.
I agree. I totally agree with that statement, 100%. Some people are saying that they heard a woman's voice come through on my microphone.
Oh.
Elfie just laughs. Oh, well.
Something happened.
No, nothing I haven't dealt with before. You know what I'm saying? Like, it like never fails. Every time I film, like not this, like, but pre-recording for YouTube, whether it's Ghost Girl Diaries or like Creeps and Cosmetics, without fail, every time I'm sitting there and I'm like, just let me get through this video, please. Like, I really need to film this. Like, I don't have 6 hours. Like, I understand that you want to be here, but like, I really need to just like get this going, you know? Every time I feel like it just whatever I'm talking about just like summons it in. Oh, some people are saying, is it the Black Dahlia? Interesting. That poor bitch, man. That's a rough way to go. I hope she didn't feel anything when that happened. Like, woo.
I hope she fought every moment of the way. I hope she fought him.
Well, in the 40s too, like, women were taught to be so like prim and proper, and like you can just tell by her photography of her photos, she was definitely the pinup. You know what I mean? Like, she was the pinup girl, and she was gorgeous, like striking. And so, who knows if somebody happened to dip in to find her and just decided they wanted to keep her for themselves eternally, essentially, you know? Whether it was the doctor or not, I'm not sure. I hate to point fingers after death, and here's why. Because they've done it with Lizzie Borden, and I'm not saying that it didn't happen. You know what I mean? The Lizzie Borden thing is, they have done like psychics have come in, and they've done a lot of seances and Ouija board sessions, and they're saying that Lizzie has come forward and other people that the father was like molesting her, and that was why she butchered him. And I don't know. I feel like that's a really brash, allegedly, you know, like afterlife. And same with like this guy with the Black Dahlia. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I think it's a great theory that this doctor was the one that murdered her. I just feel like they're not here in this life to represent themselves. What if they didn't do it? Wouldn't you feel bad if you're accusing someone of like literally slicing somebody in half? So I guess that's me playing victim's advocate. I mean, technically that's right too, right? Like, technically, I am the victim's advocate for the dead. That's who I represent. Jeez.
I think what I find interesting is that the son is so adamant, and he's like, I know my dad did, I know it, because he wrote a whole book and everything. And it's just like, there was some weird stuff with the doctor, apparently. Like, his house, he had some strange parties, there was fringe stuff, there was weird stuff going on. And I think unless there's hardcore evidence, like he was a suspect, it's one of those, it's kind of hard until there's evidence comes out, like, yes, 100% sure, we're not. We can only speculate, really, of like this possibility. But when you look at the crime scene itself and what happened to her, it's like it was definitely a crime of passion. Like, it was not. And also, in some ways, it's like it makes you wonder, like, was this person's first time?
Right.
Like, I don't think that maybe it was not their first kill, because they were very precise in how they did it and how to make sure there was no evidence and everything to connect towards them, and then they taunt the police and the media and everything with the letters and everything.
I know, it's really, there's some of those cases, paranormal or just true crime, that just stand out to you because they're so different. And to me, the Black Dahlia is one for sure, because the way the murder happened, where we don't know, and honestly, like, my true crime brain just goes when I talk and like think about that crime happening. And even if she was in a tub and she was murdered in the tub, which, you know, drained her of you know, what was in her body, and they still had to pick her up piece by piece, put her in the trunk of a car, whatever. Like, how did one do that? How does one do that? Did they put a tarp down? Did they just not give a shit? You know, like, how did they do that? They just put her in piece by piece and, like, took her to a field, and they're like, this is a good spot. We're just gonna... And then when they take her out, do they, like, just throw the piece? Like, and she didn't look like she was thrown. She looked like she was placed. So yeah, it was... Yeah. It was weird. It's weird, man. Like, murderers are weird. Murderers are weird. What's your favorite paranormal murderer, whether it be John Wayne Gacy or Richard Ramirez, or like, do you have a favorite one? Not via their crimes, by the way. I don't mean like, ooh, I love that crime. I just mean like one that just sparks your interest more than the others.
I would definitely be in the field of the whole Jack the Ripper stuff, just because I swear every 5 years or so, someone has come out with a book of like, we have solved the case.
Mm-hmm.
We have figured out who it is. We know who it is now. It's like, sure you have. Okay.
So my friend, it's interesting you brought that. My friend is a detective in the UK, and he has access to the original case files. So he has told me that nobody has ever taken the time to take the case files and like actually try to trace them with like modern day, like, you know what I mean? Like being in a modern day. So him and I have always said that when I get series, I'm going to go over there. He's going to give me the case files and he's going to go with me as the like detective. And I'm going to go as the paranormal investigator. And we're going to see if we can like take the trip of like Jack the Ripper and like walk the footsteps, because he thinks you could figure out who it is, but he goes, nobody has ever just taken the time to really do it in like the modern day, because he goes, all these other cases come, you know, every day there's crime every day that you have to deal with. My favorite would have to be, which honestly they're not, years ago I would have said a different answer, but Ed Gein.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think he is misunderstood. And I know that sounds dark. I'm not standing up for a murderer. I think that he's just very misunderstood. I think that his persona created celebrity-wise, you know, with like the Chainsaw Massacre, like all the Psycho, all these movies that were made about him, portrays him to be this like really powerful, overbearing guy, and he's gonna take you and he's gonna skin you and eat you, you know what I mean? But when you interact with his actual energy, it's like itty bitty living space, like it's literally like the genie on Aladdin, you know what I mean? Like phenomenal cosmic power, like itty bitty living space. Like he's just not like that, and he still tries to be very like powerful and like overwhelming in person, you know, like because I've been to Zach's. Have you been to Zach's museum yet?
No.
Oh my gosh. You have to come out here and we'll go. Oh my God. But and then the other one that actually shocked me, that is very powerful, and I guess I assumed he was already powerful, but being in the presence of his items, because Zach has purchased many of his items, the Kansas City Killer, he's the guy he's the murderer that would abduct young men, and he would sodomize them and like chain them up for weeks before he would kill them.
Wait, was that the BTK guy?
Yes, BTK. Yeah, he's just I'm going to be honest, I think the BTK energy is darker than the Dybbuk box. I think it's darker than Peggy the Haunted Doll. Like, I've been around everything in that museum 5 or 8 times, more than that. And the BTK energy is just, I mean, I don't think he's demonic, but I've been around demonic energy. But the BTK energy is like, he just doesn't give a shit. Like, he would like slice and dice you without even thinking about it. Like, he just literally just gave no F's whatsoever. So that was interesting, being around that kind of energy, because I've even been around Manson's ashes. I'm going to be honest too, like being around Manson stuff, like it's the same thing as Ed Gein.
Yeah.
People have talked about, oh, Manson was like the cult leader behind, and I'm not saying he's not responsible for the murders, but like you get around his ashes and stuff and you're like, leave his face again. You're just like, he was kind of a nobody that became somebody, and that's what made him feel powerful. You know what I mean?
Well, he knew how, like, he was not a big guy from what I hear. Like, he was a short man, but he knew how to present this aura about him. Like, he knew how to radiate a sense of power, and he knew just what to say to get someone's attention and to hold their attention and everything. And I think maybe also with like the BTK,
yeah,
TK guy, and all them, I think probably what's so disturbing, or why it feels even more disturbing with those items of them, is because they are from human beings, that they are from people, and the idea of a person. Because when we think spirits or negative spirits or anything like that, it's always like this other that we can put on a different level because it has different morals and ideas. But then when you deal with a human being that has lived that you could have walked past down the street, and the idea that they could just do this to someone without even thinking twice about it just because they wanted to, I think it's even more frightening to anyone.
Right. I agree completely. Yeah, he got how do I word this without too vulgar? Somehow Zach obtained the crime scene sheets to the bed set where some of the murders took place. BTK is not dead. I don't know if it has to do with him being dead or not. It still has energy, right? I mean,
Oh, he could. Yeah, there could still be.
I mean, there's still energy. Oh yeah, like it doesn't matter if he's dead or not for there not to be energy around that BTK. I don't know if he's dead or alive or not.
I've been around some like oddity stuff where it was like darker, and it's just like, yeah, you looked at it going like, that's nice, not touching.
Well,
that.
it's what's weird though, because like I mean, he has the crime sheets, so they're set up like in there like as a bed. So and then, yeah, that's gross because you know, like you know what happened, but when I'm in there, like first of all, he hates women because he was raping men, you know what I mean? So he hates women. Definitely doesn't want powerful women in there. And I was in there. He was like there was a door just like slamming me shut to get out of there. Like it was like, I don't want you in here. It was like the most like forceful energy out of the whole place, which is strange. Like, and he is alive. I just looked it up right now, but still. Just because he's alive doesn't mean that there can't be horrible energy surrounding those, and his energy can't still be stuck to those items 100%. So yeah, it's that room was hard. In fact, I saw those items when Zach got them before he put them on display. He asked me to come down, and he had them in this weird spare room, and it was one of those things where I didn't even know what it was. But I knew when I walked in the room. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't even tell me what it was yet. But you feel that energy, and it was that, like, like, mucky, thick, dark energy. And you're just like, damn, like, whatever this is, like, really bad. Like, really bad. Because even the Dybbuk box, the way that interacts is... I definitely think it's demonic, whatever that is. But honestly, Zach has created this, like, room that it loves. And it just loves being there. And that's just it. And it's happy. That room looks like hell. It's got like red lights and like missing like wall boards and stuff. And it's comfortable there. Like it's home there.
And there's like, I'm good here. Leave me be.
Yeah, it's like, I'm good. Leave me alone. Oh my gosh. Does anybody have any questions that you guys want to ask regarding like any of the stuff that we've chatted about? I think this was a great stream though. I love these topics. Like you and I could just go down the rabbit hole for 42 years. And just like I love it. I do. I love this stuff.
Well, I mean, I was going down the rabbit hole with the true crime because it's like it's interesting. Also, just the true crime, the crossover between true crime and paranormal, but the true crime community, because you have the true crime fascination in the cases, and then you got the oddities, dark stuff, and then you got the even darker stuff and everything. And it can go the whole spectrum of like. There's the surface crime stuff, like, yay, and then there's, like, the really dark stuff of, like, you will be scarred for life if you look at those photos. It's true.
Well, that's where it comes in from, like, the balance of, like, oh, like, you should be afraid of demons, darkness, Satan, all of Satan, you know, Satanism. I can honestly say I've met humans that are much darker than demons. Like, human energy and real humans, for that matter, like... You know, like, It doesn't matter, energetically speaking, what their title is. It can still be one worse than the other, you know? And, I mean, for the example of Black Dahlia, I think that's purely truth, just considering she was just taken apart piece by piece, which is so, so strange. And so Elfie will be back on with me in 2 weeks. Like I said, we're going to be talking about... Necronomicon, which will be interesting, some of the characters in there, and the book itself. I think just talking about it being occult, because, you know, some people say, oh, the Necronomicon is like a satanic book, and it has like hidden spells in it and things for like summoning, and then other people are like, no, it's just the world of, you know, H.P. Lovecraft, and Yeah, well, he was strange too. We're gonna talk about some of his other characters. He was interesting dude. I'm sure people say that about me. They're like, Krystal's an interesting chick, you know? She's real strange.
Well, it's like Toad with the Slenderman into then the thought form creation of Slenderman into the thought form creations of H.P. Lovecraft's own characters and everything. I mean, like, if you put enough belief into something, can you make it happen?
Well, and then for H.P. Lovecraft to live on in Slenderman is like, wow. Like, if it did come from H.P. Lovecraft or stemmed creatively speaking, amazing. He's like eternally living on, like quite literally. Slenderman's gone on for 10 years and I don't think he's stopping anytime soon. Like, it's still going. So thank you, Elfie, so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. I'm so glad we were finally able to do this after all these years.
Oh, no, this is great. I've definitely enjoyed this. Honestly, like, I will happily nerd out on the paranormal and the weird stuff all day long.
Yes, me too, girl. Me too. Make sure you guys subscribe to our channel. Make sure you guys follow Elfie on social media. It is at Elfie Music on Instagram, or if you follow who I'm following, you can find her in there on her Twitter and on her Instagram. Tune in for next week. Is going to be a good one. Kat and I are going to be talking about female cult leaders. Ooh, that's going to be a good one. Except we're going to go into a real dark hole with that. And Elfie, once again, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
I'll go ahead and let you go, Elfie, while I do my outro. It's been a good stream. I'm really excited that I have Elfie coming on once in a while. She's awesome. Like I said, we've been friends for a while, and finally we were able to do this. So make sure you follow all of us on social media. Stay up to date on future streams, like I said. And if you guys have any questions or whatever, hit me up on social media as usual. Any topics you want to hear, make sure you hit us up on that. Go to Ghost Girl Diaries, Instagram or Facebook, or YouTube's up and running, everybody. YouTube is up and running. That's my final announcement. People have been questioning me what I was planning on doing with YouTube. So I wanted to take a week from, or a couple weeks off from streaming and uploading content to my lifestyle channel because I needed to get reorganized, because I was really shocked to see that the Ghost Girl Diaries channel is back up and running. I know that I had mentioned before that it was going to be, I was going to run a YouTube ad for the channel to see if it revived it. I didn't even have to run the ad. It just did it on its own. So I'm very I don't know what happened. I'm very grateful. I'm happy to be back. So I'm going to be doing some uploads on there. I have a bigger Cecil video from Ghost Adventures I'm going to upload on that. I've just been creating content behind the scenes and planning. Shout out to Kat. Thank you for being my mod tonight. Make sure you guys follow us on social media. Subscribe to us. Make sure your notifications are on for the Ghost Girl Diaries channel, which is youtube.com/C/Ghost Girl Diaries, all one word. Find us on social media. Make sure you follow us there. And as always, I will catch you guys next time. Bye, guys.